What is going on, guys? Rewinds here, and in today's video we are going to be reviewing Boruto episode 231. This episode is a one-off episode, but I will say that I was actually pretty pleased with this episode. It definitely, I guess, defied my expectations, because normally episodes, based off the previous trend, pattern, whatever you want to call it, episodes that revolve around this team in particular are usually very at best, but this was the first time I think I can say that there was a good episode, in my opinion, that was a one-off around this team. So let's talk about it. First of all, though, actually, before the episode, let's talk about that new opening. The new opening was pretty amazing. I really am hoping that what they showed in the opening turns out to be an arc at some point. I don't know if it's gonna be, but I think an arc where Himawari gets kidnapped would be a pretty cool anime canon arc. Let me know what you think of that in the comments below. But I think personally that would make for a really good arc, especially if you want to see the new gen shine in a way. Maybe they could do this with the whole mist thing they're doing right now, but I don't know how they would do that necessarily. And on top of that, if the new gen do want to shine, you're gonna have to come up with a way to write out Naruto and maybe Hinata, because obviously they're gonna want to go save their daughter, and Naruto will not hesitate to do so. So they would have to write it in a certain way to make it work out. But I think it could be a really cool concept, so maybe they'll do that. But opening, one of my favorites, if not my favorite. They've been doing really, really well with openings recently. I've loved the last 4 openings they've done, so I hope they keep up the trend and they just keep improving as we go. So this episode, we start off with a flashback of Tsubaki's training in the Land of Iron. Pretty much she's training with this guy that is also a part of this, I guess you could say, group that's training under Mifune. And so these people are all his disciples trying to learn the way of the samurai and kind of master the art of that. So what happened is that Tsubaki actually woke up, and this turned out to be a dream, but then she was wondering, why am I dreaming about this right now? And funny enough, the mission that her team got sent on that day, somebody got attacked, and they found out later, once they visited this guy at the hospital, that the guy got attacked by a samurai. And Tsubaki had a feeling who it might be, just because of the way that a bamboo shoot was cut at the site of the incident. So she was already suspicious, and then that made it a lot more likely for it to be the samurai she's thinking of. So what happens after they find out what happened to this guy is another flashback, and we have a competition for the Kurosawa, which is Mifune's sword. So the guy that's, I think his name was Sazanka. Yeah, Sazanka, I think. He was pretty much the top disciple over there. He would go pretty easy on Tsubaki, but Tsubaki would be pretty relentless and just kept wanting to fight more. But Sazanka's goal was to get this sword, and there was a rumor going around that there was going to be a competition for this sword, and that whoever won this competition would get the sword. In between all of this, we have another incident with the samurais, so stuff is picking up here. It seems like these two colliding could be way more likely. But then it gets revealed in the plot through another flashback that what happened with Sazanka is that he ended up trying to steal the sword, and he killed fellow disciples there, and then pretty much became a rogue samurai. And this all happened because in that tournament, he went easy on Tsubaki, and Tsubaki actually ended up landing a lucky blow on on him, and as a result, he lost that final battle, or that battle that he was in the competition, and as a result, he felt ashamed, and this pretty much pushed him to change his ways of doing things, and pretty much his life changed from there. He kind of got disgraced, and he felt like he wasn't going to get the sword, so he tried stealing it. Uh, and it's crazy how he resorted to that over one competition battle and a rumor. Um, and then we move on, and now we're getting Sazonka versus Tsubaki in person now in the present. And what ends up happening is that Tsubaki ends up not drawing her sword, and the whole team has to end up retreating. I also want to say that I do think Wasabi being shown as a captain here was pretty nice as well. It seems like her fiery nature kind of fits that role. So I think her becoming captain actually may have been a good choice since she's a Chunin now. I was originally thinking that the captain would be Tsubaki, but after the battle, Tsubaki versus Denki, obviously that did not happen. But I thought it would always be Tsubaki because Tsubaki was more calm and cool-headed than Wasabi. But I can see now why they chose Wasabi as captain of this team, and why the writers chose to make her Chunin instead of Tsubaki. So I can understand that a little more now thanks to this episode. Another cool thing over here was that Wasabi actually used medical ninjutsu, and that was pretty cool simply because we had a anime canon episode where Sakura kind of came and taught a bunch of the ninja how to do basic medical jutsu, and it seems like that's paying off over here because she's using it. So I thought that was nice. And then back to the other point I was making earlier, Tsubaki won that whole sword tournament in the Land of Iron way back when, and how that changed Sazonka. So that is pretty much like the whole premise of this fight, and eventually Tsubaki does end up drawing her sword, and Sazonka's gotten a lot stronger since. But at the same time, Tsubaki's also grown stronger. So Tsubaki tries a lot of her techniques, and she struggles to find an opening. But in the end, she ends up winning the battle because of her friends as well, and the support she gets from them. Very typical of how that would go. But I will say this: the animation was pretty nice. The art was nice. Fight was definitely short but sweet, so I can't complain on that end. And overall, I just thought it was a good episode. If I were rating it, I was gonna give it, I would say, a 7 out of 10. I think that's a pretty good rating for it. Like I said, good episode. Not a great episode. I honestly wish that they expanded on this more, because the Land of Iron is something that we don't know too much about, as well as the samurai in general. And maybe they don't want to go down that route. Maybe that's why they don't extend it more than they have. But I think it would be pretty interesting if this was at least 2 episodes, if not 3, instead of just 1. But I am glad that it does exist as an episode, because it was a good one. And I would recommend, if you guys haven't seen this one, that you go check it out. And definitely go check out the new opening, because the new opening is definitely worth the watch. Visuals are crazy. The song is pretty good. Everything about it's nice. And yeah, overall, a positive episode. Great opening. Check it out. I'll be making my review for episode 232 sometime soon as well, so stay tuned for that. But that's going to be it for this video. Be sure to leave a like if you guys enjoyed. Subscribe to my channel if you guys are new. Hope you guys have a good day or night. I'm Rewinds, and I'm out.